The Thunder got their lick back in Game 2. 122 to 113 win for the Thunder over the San Antonio Spurs. What went wrong for the Spurs and what went right for the Thunder to allow this game to go the way it did? Well, first and foremost, we have to talk about first half turnovers for the San Antonio Spurs. We definitely talked about the fact that, hey, if you're going to have 11 assists, if you're going to have 11 turnovers in game 1, Stephon Castle, you had to have 11 assists to match it, right? Makes Castle look a lot better. Unfortunately, in game 2, it was not the same. 9 turnovers in game 2 for Stephon Castle, leading the team in 21 total turnovers compared to just 9 turnovers for the Oklahoma City Thunder. The Thunder were being way more pests. When you turn this game on at first, right? This was the earliest I have in probably the past, 6 months of watching the Oklahoma City Thunder play. This was the earliest that I had seen them take Shai Gilgeous-Alexander off the floor. He played probably the first 4 or 5 minutes of the game and immediately came out. They ran their depth unit of Alex Caruso, 25 minutes. Cason Wallace, 25 minutes. Jared McCain, 26 minutes. AJ Mitchell, 28 minutes. They were bringing these guys in off the bench pretty quickly, especially after J-Dub went down 7 minutes into the game with a hamstring injury. Really, really sucks to see J-Dub dealing with the injuries that he's now dealt with for a little bit. Finally became healthy after the Lakers series. Played a really solid game in game 1, even though he missed that last one. Faithful Collector took down the 49ers. Thank you. Congratulations on taking down the 49ers in our Topps Finest Football Hobby Box. Let me know if you're interested in any other teams or making any deals happen. I do have room. But yeah, I was happy to see the Thunder come out right off the bat and play a deeper lineup and get right into their bench unit, guys. Keep their guys fresh at all times, right? Even heading into the late fourth quarter, it felt like Shai, McCain, guys like AJ Mitchell, it felt like they had a little bit more energy in that fourth quarter than they did one game ago in game 1 when that game went into double overtime. Now, obviously, double overtime really does impact fatigue, but in this one, I thought the bench unit for the Thunder came right out the gates playing very good. Specifically, that second quarter was a really impactful quarter for the Thunder. On the defensive side of the ball, right? Poking at Stephon Castle, making him force 9 turnovers in this one. Off the bench, Carter Bryant came in, 2 turnovers, right? Jordan McLaughlin came in, which was crazy, by the way, to see the Spurs actually take 5'9" Jordan McLaughlin and try and put him on Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I mean, there was like 2 times where Shai just literally rose over him and hit a mid-range shot. But honestly, not the worst minutes I've ever seen if you're going to be 5'9" guarding the Thunder, who are a bunch of 6'5" and up athletes. I just thought it was so funny to watch, like not even a pick and roll, but just like a passing play between Jordan and Victor Wembanyama. I mean, Wemby is literally exactly 1.5 feet taller than him. 1 foot 6 inches. Just crazy. But let's talk about what everyone's talking about online. The fact that Isaiah Hartenstein, halfway through the game, NBC made an entire compilation of what they called Isaiah Hartenstein highlights. And it was literally all fouls. He was grabbing at Victor Wembanyama. Wemby was getting shoved around, elbows. I loved it. This is what I said, right? In game 1, they tried running Chet at the 5 a lot. They had to bring Jalen Williams off the bench to bring that shot creation that really Chet was not bringing offensively. But they could not run their double big lineup because Wemby was so dominant defensively. So I said, where's that going to be in game 2? Well, iHeart came in game 2, was boxing out way stronger than I saw anyone box out in game 1. Throwing a couple jabs, a couple elbows, a couple shoves at Victor Wembanyama, but Wemby went to the post conference, after the game, did not complain about it at all. Just said that this is what he's going to see. He's just got to get more adjusted to it. It's not like it really impacted Wemby's game necessarily. He still finished with 21 points, 17 rebounds, including 5 offensive. He had one shot where he took a floater from the right side of the court, not in the paint, missed it, and got his own tipped layup with his left hand on the other side of the basket. that was one of the craziest, just like freakish plays I've seen in an NBA game. But 21, 17, and 6 with 4 blocks, only 4 turnovers, 5 offensive rebounds. I thought Wemby played great. The biggest thing was they really did force him to shoot a lot more outside the paint. If you guys remember, in his game 1 41-point performance, he actually only had 1 3-pointer made, and it was like that 38-footer. This game, almost 50% of his shot attempts came from beyond the arc. He had to take a couple more post fades, was not just getting into the paint at will as much. Like Stephon Castle said after the game in his post-game interviews, that he was kind of rushing pick and rolls a lot, which led to the turnovers, which I did. If you watch this, he really doesn't allow his big man, whether it's Wemby or Luke Cornett, or even like a guy like Harrison Barnes or Keldon Johnson comes off the bench. He doesn't really allow his big men to get set and really dominate the screen as a big man, right? You tend to see a lot of these, like, he tries to rush through the screen, right? The second the screen's getting set, boom, he tries to accelerate around it. It works very frequently, especially in the regular season, because you have Victor Wembanyama that the defense is so focused on that he can just accelerate and it kind of catches the defense off guard. But against a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, you're just playing rushed offense. I mean, there's no other way to put it. You're just rushing what you're doing. So, like, when you have a Victor Wembanyama setting you a screen and you are Stephon Castle, I thought that he was a little too fast in trying to get through the motions, go through the play really, really fast. Whereas in game 1, even with the turnovers, I thought they looked a lot more settled down and in their rhythm. So that's definitely something I'm going to look to as the series goes on and as San Antonio goes home, is how does Stephon Castle react to having the ball in his hands, right? De'Aaron Fox has now been out the first 2 games of the series. They really do miss him. I know that a lot of people say, oh, well, they have Dylan Harper. Dylan Harper did go down with the injury, but I thought even before that, I think they could have used the veteran presence of De'Aaron Fox to settle things down, let them get in their sets a little bit more, and really find Wembanyama on cuts to the basket, not just finding him in the mid-post after a pick and roll, right? Got to get him to his spots and then let him go to work, as opposed to giving him the ball and trying to get to his spot just because of the energy difference. A couple guys had really solid games in this one, though. I thought Devin Vassell continues to show why he's sticking around on this Spurs team through the dynasty, right? He's their Andre Iguodala. 22 points on 14 shots. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, stop falling on every single shot attempt you take, please. But outside of that, I thought he had a great game. He hit Carter Bryant with one of the nastiest little moves I've seen. Caruso off the bench continues to just be incredible. I mean, can we say enough good things about Alex Caruso through 2 games? 17 points, 5 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers. I mean, he was just amazing. Cason Wallace, Jared McCain, we talked about the depth of OKC. Great second game for OKC. Was very impressed with their late 4th quarter as well. They never let the Spurs get right back into it, and they took game 2 at home, which was much needed, as game 3 heads back to San Antonio with a 1-1 tied series heading back to Texas. That's going to do it for my NBA Game 2 Spurs Thunder recap.